Coming off the back of the 2021 season where Williams finished in a solid P8 in the championship, they looked to build on that huge improvement. They did, however, lose George Russell, but he was replaced by the talented and experienced Alex Albon, who would partner up alongside the GOAT Nicholas Latifi. In preseason testing in both Spain and Bahrain, it looked like Williams brought a lot of new interpretations of the 2022 regulations. These could either go horribly wrong and become the worst car on the grid, or they do what Braun did in 2009 and unexpectedly be fighting for the championship. However, the latter was far from the case, and this is the roundup of Williams in 2022. Going into Bahrain, every team's grid position and the pace were unexpected with the new cars looking to bring in closer racing, and there was no real backmarker team, but more of a big midfield. Latifi would line up P19 and Albon P14, showing how Latifi had made no real improvement from 2021, and that Albon was more than likely going to wipe the floor with the Canadian. In both Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, Williams would score no points, but already it showed how bad Latifi was, and how Albon would beat him pretty easily for the whole of the season. They would get their first point in Australia, where Alex Albon would do a fantastic drive, as he would keep the soft tires on until the final lap, where he would do his mandatory pit stop, and would come home and take P10 for the team, which really did help their confidence. They would not score points in Imola but in Miami. It was very much a different story for the team. Guess who would go on and take points for Williams? Alex Albon, of course, who would drive another steady race and finish in P8, whilst Latifi was at the back of the grid as per usual. The next 4 races would be pretty dull for the team, with Latifi being slower than Albon every race, and more misery for the team as they would know they're the slowest car, and be at the back of the grid for the whole season. Their next highlight would be at the British Grand Prix, when to everyone's surprise, Latifi would get into Q3. Although he would not score any points, it would still be some sort of confidence boost going into the next races, as many people thought that Latifi's career would be on the line. The next 3 races before the summer break would be nothing to write home about, as they would be the slowest car, and of course not score any points for the team. Hopefully after the summer break they could come back and score more points, as they had only just scored 3 at this point, all from Alex Albon. Well, in Belgium they would score points after their last being all the way back in the 5th round of the season. Who guessed it? Of course, it was Alex Albon who would finish in P10, scoring 1 point after being in a DRS train, and nobody could really overtake him. The next round in the Netherlands was another scoreless race, but next in Monza it was pretty special. With Alex Albon missing the Saturday and Sunday of the week due to a health problem, it meant that Williams' reserve driver Nick de Vries would step in. He would qualify in P13, whilst Latifi qualified in P16, which was pretty embarrassing to say the least. It would get better for Nick come Sunday, where he would drive brilliantly in P9 in his first ever Formula 1 weekend, whilst Latifi finished in P15. This, to say the least, put the nail in the coffin for Latifi's F1 career, and de Vries would be wanted by several teams. What a race for him! In Singapore, it would be another race without points for the team, but in Japan, something unexpected happened. Latifi would score his first points of the season. With the wet weather, it meant that the race restarted under safety car conditions, and when it got underway, Latifi decided to come in early for intermediate tires, and they worked brilliantly. Everyone else would come in a lap or so after him, and Latifi would go on and finish in P9 just after the news he would be leaving the team. But 2 points for the team were huge for him and his confidence. The following 4 rounds would be very poor for Williams once again, and in the final race of the season, they would score no points, once again ending the season quite poorly. Overall, this season has been very poor for Williams, as they would take a step back and finish in P10 in the standings with 8 points. Of course, having Russell leave the team was a huge loss, but Albon has done very well to replace him, so that's not an issue. But Latifi, who's been off the pace most of the season, has not helped, hence his being replaced in 2023. This season may be seen as a write-off for Williams, as they did not get to understand the regulations and they hope to build in 2023. With it looking like they may join forces with Porsche, they may be holding out onto 2026, when the engine regulations change, when they will begin to climb up the grid and become the team that they used to be back in the day, winning championships. What do you think of Williams' season? Will they improve going into 2023, or will they have to wait until 2026 for the new engine regulations to change for them to get off being a backmarker team? Leave what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for even more awesome Formula 1 content.